And we ended up segmenting the list, same funnel, tweaked the copy a little bit. But if someone didn't buy, we made them apply for like a higher tiered service. And long story short, within about 2 months, I had taken this guy's average value, like customer, average customer value average lead value from like $5 to like $73.
You hear all the bull about marketing every day. Make your money in your sleep. My new offer is crushing it. My guru could beat up your guru. It's time to go right to the source and get the truth about marketing. With your host, the founder of copychief.com, Kevin Rogers.
Hey, welcome back to The Truth About Marketing. It's Kev Rogers here, back up in your ear hole with another great episode. This is going to be a lot of fun. My man Taylor Welch is a guy I met, probably just about a year or so ago. One of my first members in copychief, and was sort of a budding new copywriter, really smart guy with a lot of energy. And man, I turn around for a minute and I look up, and he's like suddenly the hottest thing going. His business has transformed in ways that I'm sure he couldn't have even imagined. And it's been an amazing journey. He's doing incredibly well. And it's really cool of him to come on and share all the details with us today. So Taylor, thanks for doing this, brother. And I'm excited to hear the adventure.
Dude, glad to be here. Moral of the story, join copychief. You'll be a millionaire in like 2 weeks.
That's right. That's my USP.
Yes.
The 2-week millionaire. I'm going to change the name of it, maybe.
Hey, man, it happened for me. It can happen for everyone else, right? No work involved.
No. You got to sleep more is the thing. A lot of people are waking up too early, and we find that's the problem.
That's it, man.
Trafficandfunnels.com, just to get that in there, is where you can find Taylor. Of course, this will all be in the show notes. So, bro, take us on the journey, because it's not that long ago. I mean, when did you actually start? When's the first time somebody paid you money, and what was it to do what?
Dude, the first time I got paid money was December of 2014. That was the first time I actually joined copychief. I sent you some copy, and I got to tell you, you were like the most gracious person. You were like, it's good. You could do a little better.
People, I hear I'm too nice a lot.
Yeah, you were totally nice. But yeah, it was less than this is less than 2 years ago.
Crazy. Wow.
Yeah, man. Brand new to the game.
So what led up to, because you're a young guy. How old are you now?
27.
Yeah. So you're 25. You hear what gets you into copy in the first place?
Actually, it's a crazy story. My wife is a hairstylist, which if you see in my profile pictures, that's why my hair is always like immaculate. But now she's a hairstylist. So she was like living the dream. She had her own business. I was working for the man, and I was just like, this isn't fair. I have to go to work, and she gets to basically do whatever she wants. But I actually was wanting to grow her business. My thinking at the time was that if I could grow her business and replace my income through her business, then I can quit my job. And so I actually got started in marketing for a brick and mortar company. So hairstylist. The first book, I actually just jumped down the rabbit hole, man. My first book was John Carlton. The entrepreneur's. No, it was the Entrepreneur's Guide to Getting Your Shit Together.
Oh, wow, cool. Okay.
And he was talking about copywriting and how he just works from home, and I was like, dude, this is the dream. This is exactly what I want to do. Through that, I found you, and I just started studying and copying out ads by hand. I went that route, and I did that for about 14 months straight. Got my first client about 3-4 months into that journey. It was awful, dude. I didn't even know how to take payment over the phone. He had to walk me through how to use PayPal. So embarrassing.
That's hilarious.
So embarrassing. Spent all this time on it, and he didn't use the copy. It wasn't good enough.
Wow.
So my first couple experiences with this business, this industry, they were a little rough. I'm definitely a fast mover, was chomping at the bit a little bit. Mm-hmm. But through a series of events, I just kept going, kept kept investing, spent money to be around marketers in your group and Levesque's group, and kind of just investing where I wanted to go, and it turned around, man.
Yeah, I remember we met at the AWAI boot camp, right?
Yep.
That's the first time we met in person, and actually John was there. We get to hang out together that night, and so it's an amazing thing about this business, dude. I tell people, I'm like, do you realize how rare it is to be able to hop on a plane and rub elbows with the best in the industry, right? It's not every industry offers you that, There's not a lot of, it's not like John Carl walks around with a security team or something, where if you're in the startup world or something, it can be really hard to connect with the people who can make a difference. But it's, commendable that you took advantage of that. It's just right there for you, man.
Well, it's not every industry where you can there's so much ability to improve your skills so quickly either,
True, right.
Dude, I would love to play NBA, man, but there's no book I can read that's going to make me hang out with Kobe. You know what I mean? So it's it's the best. We're in the best industry right now.
I agree. It's like a miracle for people who end up here. And everybody's got a different story of how they ended up here, but it's just the best thing in the world. So, all right, cool. So you have some embarrassing, little trip ups starting, and then, man, where's the shift happen?
Dude, well, I kept going. If you had my wife on the show, she would have way more to talk about from this period than I do.
You blacked it out?
Yeah, some of it I forced myself to forget. But I remember it was about a month after I joined copychief. I got this client, a big client for me. I wrote a promotion, 8 emails to send out to a list of about 50,000 people. So this is a big list, big opportunity. I was like, dude, this is it. I'm never going to have to work for clients again. I'm going to make $1 million this month. Dude, just going to take home the royalties. I sent it out, 8 emails, 50,000 people, $297 product, and we got 3 sales.
Oh, man.
Oof, dude. And that's bad. Everyone should know that's pretty bad.
And it just hurts. What they can't know is what that feels like in your gut when you get that news, right? It's just so dejecting.
Yes. It's dude, I'm a bad person. It's not even man, am I a good cop? It's I'm a failure person.
It is. It's every cell in your body. It's like a breakup and a car wreck at the same time.
Dude, it was awful, man. I think that's the pivotal moment, honestly, where it's you got to decide whether you're going to quit or whether you're going to figure out how to get better at that point. And that sets the pace for the rest of your career.
Yeah, true.
At least it did for me. So anyways, that was bad. Dude, it's a crazy story. The client who paid me, he paid me more money than I made him on a 50,000 person list. He liked my attitude. He was just dude, you got grit. You're hungry. I'm going to bring you on retainer, and we'll figure out what went wrong, and you can fix it. And I was like, oh, my gosh, okay.
That's great.
And so what happened is, I sent an email to the whole list, asking people why they didn't buy. This is before the Ask Method stuff. This is just basically hey, I'm a screw up. I obviously, don't understand what you need. Why didn't you buy? Got all these answers, learned so much about, copy, and about how I had written a lot of clever, cute, stuff that I thought was pretty cool, and people didn't care. And so then we sent another email, and we had people apply to actually get on the phone and talk about how they can move their business forward. And dude, we had 1 million applications. People went nuts. And I think that's when I made a little bit of a connection in my head that actually is responsible for where I am now. And we ended up segmenting the list, same funnel, tweaked the copy a little bit. But if someone didn't buy, we made them apply for a higher tiered service. And long story short, within about 2 months, I had taken this guy's average value, like customer, average customer value average lead value from like $5 to like $73.
Wow.
Just by using what I learned from asking them why they didn't buy, changing up the copy, and then also segmenting the funnel so that, basically if they didn't buy, I sent them some copy that basically said, hey, I noticed you didn't do this. It might not be the best fit for you. Click here if you want to apply for something different or apply for a conversation. We had like 3 different types of segments that we used in this particular industry. And because of that, I mean, we were able to sell high ticket on the back end if they didn't buy the front end, and his customer value just went through the roof. It was amazing.
Awesome. Wow. What a cool thing. Commendable for him to see something in somebody and go, hey, let's figure it out. I mean, there's a lot of great stories that start that way.
Yeah, dude.
And for you to also not go, okay, what's the next project? To go, wait a minute, let's go back and ask, how'd we screw this up? Because again, such a great thing about our industry, we can actually do that. There's just a lot of industries where nobody would ever reach out to their customer and go, why did you hate that cookie? Right? Or why won't you buy the peanut butter Oreos?
Right.
We don't want you messing with Oreos, right? But they do focus groups, and they go 8 people in a room, and that represents the whole market. Forget that, right? It's like, give me 100 people telling me the same thing, and now we're talking.
Yeah, or like let people decide with their credit card, not with with a focus group of people who are never going to buy anything. They're just kind of assessing.
They get a movie coupon or something, free lunch.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. I think for me, it's like, the reason I didn't want to move on to another project is because like in my head, I had to fix what went wrong, or else I wouldn't have been able to like. I knew that if I didn't fix it or figure out what went wrong, I wasn't going to be able to sell any other clients, because like you can't just sell someone and be like, yeah, pay me 10 grand, I guarantee I'll make you 2 grand. Like. I was like, this is going to stick with me forever. Yeah. So that was my motivation.
Right. That's great. Okay. Self-preservation. Yeah. Cool. So you learned this, and how, what happens from there? Then what do you do with that client based on that information?
Well, I started also getting into Infusionsoft at the time, learning the software. That's what we actually ended up using with my wife's business. Her business also was taken off. We were using direct mail. At this point, I quit my job. I was, her business, she was making way more money than I was. And I was figuring out how to help my clients, starting to learn Infusionsoft. And I was trying to, after we had that win with him, I obviously went on retainer with him for about 11 months. So that was a long-term relationship where I helped him write emails, helped him do funnels, and also helped him do Infusionsoft work, because nobody wants to like tinker with Infusionsoft,
right?
Except for the crazy ones like me.
A little twisted. Now, just curious, straight retainer, or is it also a royalty on sales?
No, it was actually just a straight retainer. Okay. I was trying to figure out how to do the royalty on sales, and I never quite figured that out before moving into not doing any freelance work anymore.
Right. Interesting. Yeah. Well, it's also hard to. Well, sometimes you can renegotiate, but certainly this guy pulled you out from the gutter. In the beginning, it was a little hard to go. Yeah. Now you get a little success to go. So let's talk here. So
I was like indebted to him. Basically.
Yeah. So that's cool. All right. Awesome. Cool. So yeah, carry on, man. I love this journey.
So I'm working with him. I'm taking on some other clients, and using what I learned to make sure that I don't repeat this mistake. So now I'm actually surveying people before I write copy, rather than using it as a, I gotta fix my mistake. Now I'm using it as a preventative measure.
Yeah.
And
we say using it, we're talking about. We're getting feedback in advance of creating a product or writing the campaign.
Yes, it's very like basic level, not like, I would say like Ryan Levesque is like a 12 out of a scale of 1 to 10 on smart, and I'm like a 6 or a 7. So like very basic level, just like, hey, if you can fix something in your life, tell me what it would be in relationship to paid traffic, stuff like that. Once I actually discovered the Ask Method stuff, it was like dynamite, just went crazy.
Good.
That was like a couple months after this guy.
Okay, cool. Because like in concept, you kind of come to the same need on your own, and suddenly now this guy shows up with a formula to actually implement it on a higher level. So that's great.
With like science behind it.
Yeah.
Whereas like, I could actually break apart, different segments of the market based on psychographic stuff, not just based on, like I was doing segmentation on like this person bought, this person didn't, and then this person already has a blog, this person doesn't, like very basic segmentation.
Right.
And then Ryan came along and it was like the first client I took with the Ask Method. Because I specialized pretty quickly. Like as soon as I got on retainer with this person after that fail, I kind of realized in my head, like there's two markets here. There's the Infusionsoft side, and then there's the copywriting side, and I can play in both markets. So I can be like the copywriter masquerading as the Infusionsoft consultant, or I can be the Infusionsoft consultant masquerading as the copywriter, because nobody has a great, you can't have a great funnel without copy.
Absolutely, right.
And so in my head, like light bulbs are going off. Like, so I dubbed myself the Infusionsoft copywriter and started only taking those clients.
Smart.
And took a client with the Ask Method, and it was like crazy. I'm not allowed to say his name. Yeah, it was crazy good, but it was a turning point for me internally, where I was already providing a little bit of results for people, but now I was confident that I could like go out, do it again and again and again. It was no longer like hit or miss, like maybe I'll nail the emotions here, maybe I won't. Formulaically, I was like, I can produce results for anybody, anywhere, no matter what, as long as they're a winner, not an idiot. So.
Right. Okay, good. It's so awesome. And then that got me curious. You can't give the name. Can you give a niche?
Yeah, paid traffic.
Okay, cool.
Service provider and products. So this particular funnel was selling a product in the paid traffic niche, and there was a survey funnel like on the beginning of his funnel.
All right, great. And so, and then so again, man, we're talking about a less than 2 year journey here, and you have literally become a millionaire.
Yes.
Wow, good for you, bro. I love seeing this happen. And I sense that you're not a guy who's going to screw that up.
Hopefully not.
Like John says, like Carlton says, when an entrepreneur or business owner finds success, they have a brand new immediate task in front of them, and that's to find a way to screw it up.
Yes.
It becomes their new mission. How do I screw this up? But clearly you're a guy who learns from your mistakes. So inspire us, man. Tell us what happens for you to go from struggling, budding, learning a lot, and beginning to implement in smarter ways, copywriter, and now specialist infusion copywriter, to some serious cashola.
Yeah, well, like the first thing is like, I didn't actually prepare for this question, but like I talk about this all the time, because now we're taking on clients, helping them kind of get unstuck and get out of the same boat that I was in, trying to figure out what I was doing, right? And I think the biggest thing for me is like I have developed in myself like a focus on the process, man. Like I don't know what I'll be doing a year from now, to be honest. Like I don't have it all planned out. I didn't plan out the past 2 years. I would have loved, everyone says that they do, but being real, like it's kind of hard to do that. Like it's kind of hard to really plan out the next 10 years of your life. But what I do know is like, dude, I am going to stay surrounded by the people who make more money than me. I'm going to wake up early in the morning. I'm going to copy out ads by hand. I'm going to read fewer books, but read them more often. There are these principles that kind of rule my life, and it's the process, the lead indicators. And because I've kind of nailed a lot of those things, the lag indicators have kind of shown up automatically. I may be too vague, 50,000 foot, but we can go more granular if you want to.
Well, what was the shift in in how you began selling your services, I guess, is the
Well,
tactically, how did this all go down?
Tactically, after the big win for the survey funnel over the summer, I created a waiting list, and I started using the same thing that I did with my Done For You client. The same idea, like the exclusivity of making someone like apply, right? Mm-hmm. I started using that for myself. It's weird because it took me like 6 months to figure that out for my own business. Like it worked for his,
right?
But it didn't figure it out for me, which is probably pretty common. And so I went to really building out a marketing system for myself. My client acquisition was still up and down. In fact, I think when we first met, I was still like trying to figure out how to like not make 40 grand in 1 month and then like $500 the next month. You know,
right.
Like 1 month I'm like, buying a new car, and the next month I'm like canceling email players and canceling like print newsletters to try to like budget,
Yeah, it feels like I'm never going back. Right.
Exactly.
I'm on a boat. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, it's Kev here. We're about to get to the essential question of the show. But first, if you'd like to go deeper into all the marketing strategies that the top pros are using to really move the needle on their sales, then I invite you to come join us on the inside of copychief. Go to copychief.com/join, JOIN, and see a special offer for you to come check it out. And what you'll do in there is you could enjoy one of the trainings. We've got 12 different trainings on how to improve your copy. We also have an invitation to you to post up your copy and get reviews, friendly, happy, helpful reviews from all the cool copywriting pros hanging out in CopyChief. So it's a great community. You really love it. Tons of valuable information. We want to help you sell better. Come join us at copychief.com/join. All right, so I'm just going to ask you the big question here. So, because then this is the context we'll talk about it in, right? Is that fair?
Yeah, go for it.
We'll jump to that because I like to. You got to set it up, man. All right, so Taylor Welch, what is the one thing you've done in your marketing that has produced the most surprising results?
Without a doubt, making people apply to work with me. Without a doubt. The biggest change in my business was that.
Wow, awesome. So give us a context before and after.
So most of the time when you're looking to pick up clients and you're looking to do things in relationship to marketing, you're outbound and there's so many things you have to do. You have to write a best-selling book. You have to email every day. You have to blog. You have to be going to the social networking meetings and all these things. And all of it's outbound. And what I did is I actually started doing a handful of things to bring people inbound. So we recorded one webinar. We have one funnel. And everybody who works with us has to apply to work with us. So we're never talking to someone who hasn't invested the time to fill out a simple application. And the psychology of what happens when someone does that is amazing. I wouldn't say that I've ever like struggled to enroll clients or to sell on the phone. But if someone is scared of selling on the phone, this is the fastest and the best way to change that around. When someone applies to work with you and you get that application, at that point, you're not even selling on the phone anymore. You're hopping on,
right?
And you're having just a conversation and fielding a couple questions and making sure it's a good fit.
Right. Yeah, it's very powerful. Yeah, and of course, the psychology of there being barriers in place rather than you saying, hey, let me convince you as much as attention as you'll give me. I'll try to pummel you with reasons why you should give me money and work with me.
Totally.
To, hey, here's what I do. Here are the results. Here's some people it's been amazing for. If you're interested, here's an application.
Yeah. It goes back to like, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but back to investing. Like I spent like $1,200 to have a 40-minute conversation with the salesperson because I couldn't. I didn't know how to handle the sales call. And he said something to me that is still lasted. He said, if you need the sale, you probably won't get it. I was like, oh crap. So I'm doing everything wrong.
That whole needing the sale part is where I'm getting off on the wrong foot.
Dude, the application changes all that.
Yeah.
Because then the people coming through it, they start switching around to where it's like, oh wait, like he doesn't need this. Like if he's making me fill out an application, he obviously doesn't need the business, and everything's different, man. I mean, it was like, dude, it was night and day. It was just better. I'll never go back.
It's great. It's the old dating analogy, right? If you're this is the whole used to be the rule, wait 2 days to call the thing, right? But it's that same psychology where there's no quicker way to ruin somebody's lofty impression than to all of a sudden seem needy or insecure. It just blows everything. And this is a quick way to take you to reverse that view of it. Awesome. So let's talk about, because I'm thinking if I'm listening to this, my question now is, but how do I convince somebody I have what they need just to get them to fill out an application?
Well, I mean, it's a numbers game. Part of it's a numbers game. But part of it, here's the thing, dude. Like if someone's not going to fill out an application, the chances of them being serious about handing you a check for $10K or $20K or whatever is seriously diminished. So I think that's just a mindset thing people have to get over. Because it's like, well, let's say we get 5 people interested, but only 2 people are going to fill out the application. And out of those 2 people, I'm going to close 1. I would rather close 50% than close 1 out of 5 because the other 3 aren't even serious.
Sure. But I mean, what is the process of awareness they have to go through for them to get excited about filling out that application and hearing from you?
Totally depends on what you're selling. Like if you're a generalist and you're just if you're like a generalist copywriter or like a generalist marketer, then you have to have a lot more to incentivize someone to do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, right.
But if you're a specialist, if you can get narrow enough into, and I don't mean market selection, because I went through this process too, where I was like, do I want to write for health or do I want to write for finance or do I want to write for, all the different subcategories and industries? And if you look at the players, dude, like the top of the top of the top, some of them back in the day they're industry specific, but most of the ones today, they're not. Like, dude, check out you and check out Ryan. It's like, even us, like we work with all these different industries, but they're tied together by a problem. And so you got to go problem specific. And if you can create like awareness in your market about what the problem is, what it's going to cost, and the viability of a solution, that's enough for them to fill out a freaking 5-minute application.
That's a great point. Great lesson. Big takeaway right there. If you're sitting there wondering, racking your brain over which niche or industry to serve, it can be helpful to choose one. But what's ultimately going to motivate people to reach out and communicate with you and take action and hire you or give you money by your product is you solving a problem. So spend at least as much time getting problem specific as you do industry specific.
Totally. I have an example if you want to hear one.
Yeah, it'd be great.
We're actually working with this guy right now, and he was having the same issue. He didn't know which industry he wanted to work in, and kind of looked at what he's done in the past, looked at kind of where his skill sets lie. Great copywriter, great with funnels, pretty good with traffic. And I was like, dude, here it is. Like, you need to specialize in, wait for it, like break-even funnels, acquisition funnels. You got people with products and they can't afford to go out and buy new customers. But if you can build a funnel that you can put $2 into in paid traffic, and it's going to produce at least $2 back in revenue, and then they have that customer on their list they can sell to again and again and again, that's worth what, 20 grand, 50 grand? Like, that's worth a lot of money. So he's not specializing in any type of market or any type of industry, but whatever industry you're in, he'll be able to help you put together an acquisition funnel that you can throw money and it'll throw money back. Things like that.
Yeah, that's really smart. Love that. So the idea is that look, I know once people are in my world, I've got stuff of value that they're going to buy. I just don't know how to get them here. And so
that's the problem.
Because you hear people say, and I like that you took the terminology, but say, man, I just need to break even with Facebook ads or whatever, right? With the traffic spend, and I can do the rest. So break even funnels. That's great.
Yeah, man. And that's the big problem. People are like, I don't know how to grow my list without reaching deep into my pockets. Like, traffic is an expense to me. Yeah. And he can turn that into an investment. Boom, that's the problem. And every industry online is linked together by that problem. He can sell to anybody he wants.
Great example. Taylor, well, I'd say I'm going to give you like an 8 on the smart level. I think 6. I think I'm going to go like 7.5, 8, man. That's what I'm feeling. I'm going to...
Dude, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. I'm going to play this recording to my wife every night before bed.
What kind of stuff does now she's like, oh, Mr. Millionaire. I mean, she's got her own business, and I mean, she's still doing what she did, right? Is she like retired? Is she at the salon herself right now, getting her nails did? No,
she still does her own thing, but she dips into Daddy's bank account every once in a while.
Bag, yeah, take me shopping. Does
yeah,
she,
exactly.
But nothing like a spouse to keep it real with you, right? Though, you know.
Totally, she doesn't care how much money we make, man. Like, she just doesn't care. Like, she definitely helps keep me and, my business partners the same way. He's married with 4 kids. And, dude, there's nothing like a wife to keep you grounded. And, like, your money doesn't matter that much, right?
That's the truth. Doesn't solve the real problems.
Definitely not.
It does make life a little more fun and more comfortable, though. So, dude, thanks so much for doing this. I'm sure, everyone listening is getting a lot from this, a lot of inspiration, and, thanks for sharing the journey and how you did it. Traffic, I lost trafficandfunnels.com, or you can just Google Taylor Welch like I did, and that's the site that will come up. And you're just at the beginning of this, bro, 27, and really proud of you, really glad to call you friend, and excited to see the next phase.
Thanks, man. Appreciate everything you've done for me.
Yeah, it's
for sure.
Pleasure. We'll talk soon, buddy.
All right, man. See ya.
Hey, thanks again for listening to the Truth About Marketing podcast. If you like this show and you think other people would like this show, the best way to spread the word is by reviewing and rating the show in iTunes. Just log in, click review, leave a big old fat 5-star review, and let everybody know that you dig the show so that they can dig it too. To get all the links and resources we mentioned on today's episode, please go to copychief.com/TAM, as in Truth About Marketing. And if you'd like to learn more about how you can improve your sales copy with templates, formulas, coaching, feedback, or hiring a pro, do all that on the inside of the members area of copychief.com, and I will look for you there. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.